Today I'm going to tell you how I finally figured out how to beat the brown ugly stage that plagues all of us when we first start our tanks. I'm going to show you 3 of my tanks, how I cycled them, how I cured the rock, what kind of filtration I had running, lights and such, and I think I finally got the magic formula. Let's check it out. My 75 bar tank is 3 years old. This one started with curing the rock in the tank for 1 month. It had a very simple sump, 1 filter sock, bio balls in the water, and a return pump. And after 1 month, we added bromo and spoda, my clownfish, and I had a homemade DIY hybrid lighting system. It was 2 double T5 ag lights, which I had for about a year before I discovered blue and actinic. And it had the LED, very cheap LED that came with it, that I formed my hybrid. And this tank had all kinds of problems. It took a couple tank breakdowns before we finally, 3 years later, got to this stage. This was not a success. Let's check out the 90. The 90 was a complete failure on the cycling. As far as I can tell, I've never gotten out of the brown uglies. The rocks hold the algae. I get nothing on the glass. But this tank is 2 years old, and it started with the rocks being cured in the tank for about 2 weeks or so. I put in some of my larger fish that I couldn't keep in the 75 Reef. Not him, of course, but the ones that are in my Fowler now. My bicolor there, who is reef safe with caution. But this one always stayed ugly. I actually started, I thought, ahead of the game. I had a very low wattage, cheap lighting, the LED lighting, and I had a nice eShops sump and protein skimmer. Supposed to easily take care of 300 gallons, but just didn't do well. And real quick, while I'm thinking about this ugly ass tank, I cannot wait to first get rid of the castle. Although, you know, it's kind of cheesy and childish. Although the fish absolutely love it. But it's got to go. I'm going for a natural reef look. This tank will be completely broke down and become part of my 400-gallon acro system up and around the corner of my 18 feet of Reefer madness. This corner will come out, and it'll be an open corner, and I'll put the rocks so it looks like it's all one big system, 18 feet of Reefer madness. So as you can see, I still haven't even finished painting because I'm broke. But like and subscribe, follow the journey, and I encourage you to start from the beginning. This has come a long ways. I've got videos where these walls aren't even in yet, just the stands and everything. A huge DIY project. Check it out. And on the 210, we hit the magic formula. I cured these rocks for 6 months in a 55-gallon brute garbage can. I fed them weekly with a cube or so of fish food, and they stayed there that long basically because I was waiting for the tank. I bought the rocks before the tank, and that's how the broke-ass Reefer does it, one thing at a time. Those are my 2 rocks from the 90, which are still covered with algae, but it has not spread. As soon as these rocks went in the tank, I added copepods. They didn't have lights for the first month because I'm broke and I just couldn't afford them. And then I started moving fish in. Well, the fish were in even before the sump was running or the lights. And this one has done great. It's actually I don't know if we can see it here. Maybe I'll turn down the lighting. But it's actually starting to get coralline algae growing on it. And believe it or not, it came from my cleanup crew off of the snails. Absolutely fantastic. So, I don't know if it was the bio balls on the sump, or I believe it's just the extra long cure. Cure them as long as you can. Add bacteria, add food, keep them blacked out as long as possible before you add light, and that is the secret to beating the brown algae. So, I think it's pretty simple. Cure your rocks as long as you can. Add copepods as soon as you get them in your tank, and your tank is running, and rock and roll.